Hi, today's lesson 10-2 is about adjacent angles. For angles to be adjacent, basically just means for them to be side by side. They will share a vertex and they share one of their sides, but they have no interior points in common. So here's an example of two angles that are adjacent. Angle AOB, AOB, that's shaded here in red, and angle BOC, BOC, that's shaded here in blue, are adjacent because they're side by side. They share this vertex O, and they share this side. Over here is an example of two angles that are not adjacent. Angle AOB, shaded in red, is not adjacent to angle COD, shaded in blue, because these two angles are not side by side and they are not sharing a side. There's another angle basically in between them. So we would say they are not adjacent. Okay, first we will begin by just identifying some angles that are adjacent. I'll start the first one. Name an angle that's adjacent to FAD. Okay, angle FAD, if we kind of trace it out here, is this angle. An angle that is adjacent to angle FAD could be angle DAB. These two angles are next to each other, so we would write that angle using the angle symbol DAB. All right, pause the video. Finish out parts B, C, and D. Try to find angles that are adjacent to the remaining three. Then play the video. See if you had any of the same angles as me. All right, for the next one, angle BGC. We need to name two angles that are adjacent. Okay, so let's go back to our picture. Looking at angle BGC, that would be BGC, this blue angle. We need to name two angles that are adjacent to it. Well, there's some different options here. We could say the angle CGH is adjacent. Angle BGF is adjacent. It shares the side with that blue side there. So CGH and angle BGF. There's actually some more. Oops. If you didn't choose those two, you could even say EGH. You could say DGB. There's tons, just as long as this new green one I'm drawing shares a side and vertex G with my blue angle that I marked for BGC, our original angle. Okay, on the next one, we need to name two angles that are adjacent to CEH. Okay, so CEH, that would be this one. Well, one angle that's adjacent is angle CEB, also HEG. Those two would work. Angle CEB and angle HEG. These two in blue. Make sure to be using your angle symbol as you write down your angle names. All right, for the last one, we need to name, again, two angles that are adjacent to angle ABC. Okay, they have to share a vertex and a side. Well, the vertex of this straight angle is B. So we have to use B and we have to use one of the sides. We could say A, B, D. We could also say, for another one, it has to share this vertex and it has to share one of the sides. So C, B, E. Whoops. We trace the red one. Angle C, B, E. To identify adjacent angles, you just need to identify angles that are right beside each other, that they share a vertex and they share a side. Which angles are adjacent to EOD? Okay, here's the angle we're talking about. This one right here, EOD. Some angles that are adjacent. Well, pause the video, see if you can find a couple, and then play the video and see if you found what I found. All right, if we're looking at angle EOD, we need to share a vertex and a side. Angle AOE works because it shares the vertex O and the side here with our original angle. Another one that could work, DOC shares a vertex and a side with our original angle EOD right here. So angle DOC, let's see. There's some others that we can make. Our original angle is right here. We could even say this one, DOB, would still share a side and a vertex with that original angle. I think that's it. Now, besides just identifying some angles that are adjacent to one another, you can also do some math, some calculations.
My ability to catch and eat fish has to do with the angles of my beak. I have a perfect beak, by the way. Take a closer look. See that? 80 degrees right there. And watch this. Now I have two adjacent angles. Ha!
Okay, so they're telling us that the measure of angle PRS, I always like to kind of highlight what they're talking about. Oops. Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's start over. Okay, PRS is 80 degrees. So what's the value of X? Well, these two adjacent angles, PRQ and QRS, make up that bigger angle. So 25 plus X should make a total of 80 for the overall pink shaded angle here. So we could subtract 25 from both sides. And we get 55 for the value of X. Ooh. One more. The measure of angle ABC is 100 degrees. What is the value of X? Okay, pause the video, see if you can do it on your own, and then play the video and you can check your work. All right, so we're told that the measure of angle ABC, like the whole angle here, is 100 degrees. And we're given that this part is 2x and this part is 60. These two are adjacent to one another. So together they would make that bigger angle. So 2x plus 60 makes 100 altogether. We can begin by subtracting 60 from both sides. And we can divide by 2 on both sides. X equals 20. So we found the value of X. All right, well, that's it for this lesson. Our goal is to be able to identify adjacent angles and even be able to solve some math problems or some algebra type problems that involve those adjacent angles. I hope this helps.